The great thing about football collectibles is the vast range of memorabilia available. We asked Michael Ludgrove to cast an appraising eye over the collection of Dr. Ken Dowd.
Well, I'm here with Ken Dowd, and in the midst of an absolutely amazingly comprehensive collection of football ephemerae and memorabilia. Now, Ken, you've concentrated on the souvenirs from football history, going back to the earliest possible. Can you tell us something
Indeed,
about...
my bent is more about what it would be like to be a football supporter at the time, and that's what the focus of a lot of the stuff I have is on. It's not so much Ron Barassi's jumper or that. It's more about the magazines, that the football programs that the average supporter would have bought and been reading at the game, and they would have marked in the scores. Some people like to have their programs pristine condition. I prefer to have them with the notations, the goals kicked and the scores from around the grounds that they've got off the scoreboard. That makes things more special to me.
Well, I think this is something that's very interesting to start with.
Yes, indeed.
Not only because it's a very comprehensive and early history of Australian rules football, but also because of the association here, the bookplate of Melbourne Grammar.
Yes.
One of the first clubs to play.
Well, it was a rare piece, first of all, in that it was a private production. A lot of copies you find went to libraries.
Yes.
It's a very serious piece on Australian football. So I'm sure that where Lou Richards, boots and all, might have sold 10,000 copies in the late 50s, 60s, whereas this might have sold perhaps 40, 50 copies, and the rest would have been complimentary copies to libraries.
But what sort of value do you think it would have?
Well, once again, it depends. It's in the eye of the beholder.
Absolutely.
I would presume a very good condition copy would go for somewhere around about the $300 to $400 mark.
Absolutely, but I think because of the really interesting bookplate, and the book itself is in quite good condition, I would say on the market now probably about $600, $600 to $800. I would think something interesting there. Another early history of football?
Yes. This would have been the first serious attempt to teach youngsters how to play the game. It was a soft cover thing.
Yes.
Whoever I bought this from had put hard covers on it.
Right.
But it's from 1931, and it talks about how to play and train and coach and
one of the authors is the great Jock McHale?
Yes, indeed. And Albert Chadwick and E.C.H. Taylor as well were all well known at the time.
Yes, and again in quite good condition, really.
Yes.
Not too many tears or stains or anything like that. Again, something like this, because of the condition, because someone's gone to the trouble of putting boards, I would say on the market today at auction, something like $300, $300 to $400.
Yes, quite possibly, quite possibly.
And here we have a beautiful print of Sid Coventry from the Australasian, I think.
Yes, once again a very special piece. The Australasian did these each week, but there's only one, as far as I'm aware, on a footballer.
Right.
They had to do a lot of cricketers or just recreational pieces, people on horseback and things like that. What makes this special, I mean, the front cover itself I've seen sell at auction for over $100 alone.
Yes.
But what makes this special is this is the complete magazine, and it has famous Victorian teams, football teams, and in the centre a magnificent colour
of all the captains
of football teams across Australia,
in the
from all states, even rugby. And I've just never seen that before or since.
Again, a very important early form of printing in colour. And
well, there's very, very little of colour from the early half of the century.
Yeah, from the early 1930s. This was 1932. Yes. And again, in remarkable condition, very good condition. I would say a complete one of these, possibly anything up to $1,000, $700 to $1,000.
Yeah.
What else do you have?
Well, just to emphasise once again that things don't have to be old to be special. This card of Tony Lockett that Select probably don't even realise got out of the factory.
All right, the one about the boots.
Yes.
Yes, quite an interesting story, though.
supposedly this one was sent to him to sign as a redemption card. The kids would perhaps get a card in their pack that would say, you have won a redemption card, send this in and we will send you this card. And these went to Tony Lockett to sign because he was meant to sign them on the back, but he realised that it was a picture of him in Adidas boots, and at the time he was contracted to Puma, so he sent them back and said, well, these can't be released. So they were meant to have been destroyed, but some got out of the factory, and this is the replacement card with him in Puma boots that was officially released. Well, Michael, I mean, you
So
could
very
work
rare.
out extremely rare.
Absolutely, but if he signed both of these and both together, framed, I would think something like about $300, $400 for the pair.
I'd certainly
You know,
say so.
signed
yes.
by him.
Yes, so things don't have to necessarily be old.
Absolutely. Another interesting a football toy there, actually, a game.
Oh, the game, yes.
Well,
Well,
and the interesting thing is the box. You still have the box.
yes.
And,
Yes, I mean, a box certainly adds value to a piece.
Well, with something like this is probably half the value. And again, a great example of colour printing with the colours of the clubs, quite clear over there. And something like this, because of the good condition it's in, I would say perhaps about $400, $500 maybe. Ken, so far you've showed us some remarkable examples of very rare items of football memorabilia. You must have some things that are within the reach of the average football supporter.
Oh, very much so. Things that you can still get and probably will be available in the next few weeks.
Yes.
These come, I think, now with the age, and originally from the ES&A Savings Bank, and
That's
then
right,
it became a Sander and ANZ. And all the way up to the present day. Also in other states as well, they did them. South Australia.
I think it started in the 60s, isn't it?
Yes,
Sometime?
1964, as far as I'm aware, was the
That's
first
right.
one.
Yes.
And yes, I mean, the average collector might see these at markets here and there, sometimes missing the pieces that went into the ladder. But certainly in good condition. I have had to complement my collection. I've had to buy them, perhaps even these days, about $20, $30, something like that. So they are special in their own
You've
way.
also got another very interesting toy somewhere.
Yes,
here,
the
Ken.
hurdy-gurdy.
Yes, there we are. Yes.
Medieval sort of device this is, but this one plays so I'll see if I can do it at the right tempo to produce a song everyone should hear, should know. Up there, Kazali came in many forms, but this is the only time I've seen it in this sort of unique form.
And again, the box is in quite good condition.
Yes.
And quite important because you've got coloured illustrations on the box. So that's quite an interesting item. Quite an amazing and an enormous collection. Ken, have you catalogued everything here?
At times in the past I've attempted to, but in recent years I just haven't had the time. It continues to grow almost exponentially to the point where I'm just about devoid of any more room I can put things.
Well, it's certainly taken up this room. It's
Yes,
taken over the house gradually, is it?
Well, yes, my wife is very strong on making sure that it doesn't, but certainly there is stuff that has spilled over into one of our other rooms at the moment, waiting to be put in its rightful place.
It's really been exciting, Ken. Very kind of you to share your riches with us. I think we're all the richer for having been part of this. Thank you very much.
Thank you.